Netflix.
No!
I'm Ashley.
I'm Gabby.
This is Netflix. No, we watched
Bad Parents. The basic plot of this movie is soccer moms. They're trying to divide the 6 to 8-year-old soccer team into A and B, so like good kids and bad kids. And this mom, Kathy, really wants her daughter to play soccer, and obviously, like every good parent does, she wants her to get on the A team because she deserves it.
Sorry. It's so hard.
This movie tries to pull off like 50 different genres.
Basically. So it tried to be a murder mystery.
And a comedy.
And a mockumentary.
And a drama.
And a sitcom.
Yay!
Too many things!
It obviously does none of them effectively, because you literally can't do 5 things effectively.
Especially not, like, some of those just don't mesh well together.
Mm-hmm.
Murder mystery and mockumentary just really don't go that well together. They really don't. But, yeah. So our main character was also pretty ambiguous. We know it's supposed to be Kathy, but it never really feels like Kathy.
Yeah. The other option is Coach Nick, who's just a huge dick the entire time. And Ashley believed that it was going to be random guy number 7, whose name we can't remember.
Oh, yeah, we don't know, but he was like the first protagonist we see. He's the first person we are introduced to that we're supposed to like. And he's good, and we like him, and he's funny, and he acts well, so it felt like a real thing.
And he was like against the split of A team and B team. One of the big failings of this is the wall.
Yeah, okay, so the actors didn't understand this movie's concept. This movie was supposed to be funny. It's a comedy, and this comedy very specifically is over the top. It set up the way the plot went, everything else. Even some of the dialogue was very over the top, that the actors didn't push enough, and they kept hitting the very top of the wall, never quite getting over it.
Which made it really just not funny for us. I mean, it was boring to watch overall.
Even some really, really over-the-top moments, like the one with Coach Nick and his assistant coach Gary, which we'll get to in a sec, it just was so over the top, and yet it just felt not
forced.
there. It felt forced, not there, and the actors, I don't know. But
so, Coach Nick and assistant coach Gary.
Oh, so the assistant coach wanted more playing time.
His name was Gary.
Yeah, his name was Gary, for his daughter, and so the head coach was like, what are you willing to do to get it? And like unzips his pants. And Gary, being Gary, who literally has been sucking his dick metaphorically the whole movie, decided to get on his knees ready to do it for real.
And we were like, what is
Why?
happening?
But then Nick was like, oh, that was a test and you failed.
Hashtag no homo.
It was so weird.
Yeah, it was really strange. The movie probably would have been more effective if they did that whole thing where it evaluated each character more in depth. There's probably a term for it that I don't know. But if they focused on the entire cast of characters more than just one character, or even as like a web series,
'cause it felt like a
rather than
sitcom.
a movie.
That was it. It felt like a sitcom the way they kept going with each character, and they were trying to tell us too many stories at once without doing it. But, pause. Just so I don't have to do all those. Boop. Boop. Okay.
That being said, there were very few good characters, but when they arrived, boy, did they steal the show.
All right, so we'll save the best for last. But one of the good characters was
the husband.
The husband, or
Kathy's husband. You liked him.
Was this Kathy's husband?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he was decent. Okay, there were 4 main. Good, because I keep forgetting.
I just remember you liking Kathy's.
Kathy's husband had very little to do with anything, but at one point he had a nice scene where Kathy was up really late and he was like addressing why she
doing
was
laundry. We'll talk about that soon.
And he was just like, you're so weird, you're too much into this. He was kind of like the guy that was normal in all of this, and he was probably the only one.
Yeah.
Which, if they had showed him more of, it would have been a good contrast, but because we only got very, very little glimpses of him, it didn't create enough of a contrast to show exactly how crazy they were. We were just too caught up in their weird world.
Gary's wife, I think, was also another really good character. She was very normalized as well. She didn't understand why Gary was putting so much into the soccer thing. She wanted her daughter to have more experiences. Like, she wanted to take her to a Broadway show with their family. She's like, we've been planning this for a really long time. She can miss one soccer game for this. And the father was like, no, she can't. This is so important. And she kind of put him down a lot. And she had a very strong character, even though we only saw her for 2 scenes.
Yeah.
And she was really realistic. Like, at one point, he, like, crawls into bed with her and is like, I thought we could, and she's like, no, I'm tired. Go to bed. And it was really nice, and like that was a point where I actually laughed because it was so real. Like, that happens.
Another good character is one who I thought was going to be the main character at the beginning, because he's the one who's originally like, we shouldn't split up the girls, we should keep them all on the same team. And this is like the first one we're introduced to that we're supposed to like as an audience. But he also got very little to do with anything. And at one point, all the parents were finding out their like kid was on the A team and stuff, and they would cut to them because they were all talking to the camera. It was so weird. And he wouldn't say anything. He would just rake really angrily. And it was really funny. That was like one of the times we actually laughed out loud.
Yeah, it was great.
The only other time we laughed out loud.
Oh my god, this guy was the best. So, the mom of one of the girls who didn't make it on the A team is protesting at Coach Nick's house. She has these signs, which is why we had our signs, and this guy walks up and she's like, "Sir, how do you feel about poor treatment of children?"
I was a child.
And then he's like, "Yes.
Yes, I will spend the rest of my day protesting something I know literally nothing about."
And then he gets his sign and is just like, hold on. Child hater at the house. And it's great. It's one of the funniest moments in the entire thing.
This actor got the point that there is a wall of humor and you just need to jump with your all and not try to keep it subtle. Just freaking go for it. And he did it, and it was so funny.
It was great. I wanted him to be in the entire movie.
All right, so laundry.
Literally, Kathy does laundry all the time. All the time. It's all she does other than soccer stuff, soccer momming.
We never really know why.
Yeah, we see her in this white, like, laundry room a lot.
Telling her
throughout
flashback of the murder mystery.
Yeah, telling her flashback. And then she's doing laundry at her house all the time. She's doing laundry at 3 a.m. when her husband comes down. She's always doing laundry in the living room while the kids are there, always folding laundry. It's just a thing for her, and I think it's meant to represent a calming exercise, which brings us into this movie's portrayal of anxiety.
Wow. Just wow. Okay, so it tried to do editing techniques to show anxiety, which I think was really, really ineffective because they just felt like, oh, let's throw this effect on it, let's throw this effect on it, let's throw that effect on it, and it didn't seem to have a purpose or any understanding of what anxiety feels like. And I think filming techniques would have been much stronger. So really, really tight shots, kind of in a way, weird angles that show like she's not like comfortable. The same way you would do almost like a horror movie, but with less horror music and more like upbeat kind of stuff that shows like a tempo increase. And there's just so many other ways they could have done it, but also the acting wasn't the greatest, but I honestly couldn't see the acting through all the freaking
editing.
Like all the filters they had on it, and I'm just like, stop. So I think laundry was a way to like combat that.
Yeah.
But then also at the end, and she's in some kind of asylum, I'm like, why does she need to be in asylum? She has anxiety.
Yeah.
That's it.
Also, I didn't even realize until the end of the movie that she was supposed to have anxiety.
Yeah.
It was not something they developed
No.
at all. She just has this, like, anxiety attack and, like, breaks down
And kills
and
the guy.
stabs the coach with a thing, which we never see. Which brings us, I guess, to the ending, which was incredibly anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Because
We already saw his death.
yeah, so we already saw his death at the beginning because it's a murder mystery. And at first I thought Gary was going to be the one to kill him because he goes and grabs like the flag which has the metal stake on it from the side of the field. And he stops in front of Nick, and then Kathy walks over and grabs the flag, and then we flash to the dead body and her being led away by police. It was just really ineffective.
Yeah.
Like, I would have liked to see that breaking point. There was never
It was already an R-rated movie, I'm pretty sure.
Was it?
Wasn't it with all like the cussing and like
Maybe.
That's probably why they didn't have a lot of things. Okay, so first of all, there was not enough sports in this sports movie. The
We
children
tried.
were barely seen. It was.
Yeah.
I wanted to see kids playing soccer, and all I got were parents doing stupid things.
Yeah.
But
But
yeah, so it's not like they couldn't have shown the violence. I'm pretty sure it was already an R-rated movie.
But then it pans into her in the white laundry room folding laundry, and it zooms out, and it's clearly an asylum because you see the bottom halves of these two guys in like white mental institution clothes. I wouldn't call it an asylum, I guess. I call it a mental institution.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, they clearly it's like because she killed someone and might have like this anxiety problem. Maybe they were not trying to portray anxiety and were trying to portray something completely different and just totally missed the mark.
Whatever.
But
So this movie wasn't all in all terrible. It was just so boring.
yeah.
And it didn't really make me feel anything. So
And for that reason, I'm going to give it 3 O's.
same 3 O's. We hardly ever differ. So
Yeah.
whatevs. It's easier for editing.
So, one last time.
Netflix.
No.